$20. That is the price difference between the new Nothing Ear 3A and the old Nothing Ear A. I'm about to put these earbuds through their training arc by going over 8 different points, awarding a train carriage per point, and the longest train wins. Starting with unboxing. All I can say about the unboxing is that nothing has changed. They have the same boxes, the same peel, the same packaging. The only slight difference is that the Ear 3A has a pull tab that helps pulling out the ears out of the box. And in these boxes you will find an extra ear tip size in the box of the Nothing Ear 3A, and there is a tiny USB-C cable in the box of the Nothing Ear A, which for some reason isn't in the box for the Ear 3A. So I'm gonna give both earbuds a point for unboxing. And it's a bit of a similar story when it comes to design. The biggest difference is that the case of the Ear 3A is a lot more rounded, while the case of the Ear A is more square, which somehow makes the case of the Ear 3A feel lighter and smaller, even though it isn't. Also, there is now a glyph bar on the case of the Ear 3A, which is obviously way cooler and more functional than a single blinking light that's on the Ear A. Especially because this glyph bar can show you the battery life. And the design on the earbuds themselves is slightly different, although it is a game of spot the differences. And when it comes to fits, the Ear 3A has the advantage. With the new XS ear tip that comes in the box, I can decently comfortably wear the Ear 3A for about an hour. Where with the Nothing Ear A, well, I can barely get them in my ears. The S ear tip is simply still too big for me. So I think that both on design and comfort, the Ear 3A takes the win. Now let's talk about what people actually buy earbuds for. And that is listening to music.
Sounds like nothing.
Now on paper, the Ear 3A should have this one in the back, especially with its new 12mm driver, which is huge for these tiny earbuds. But you know what? Specs are boring. Let's actually try these earbuds out, and to keep the test fair, I'm gonna put the same default ear tips on both of these earbuds. I'm gonna put the equalizer to balance, because most people use the earbuds straight out of the box, and keep Nothing's British spirit alive by listening to some Queen.
10 hours later.
So I spent many more hours listening to music with both of these earbuds. From Mozart to Charlie XCX. Constantly switching the earbuds to get a proper comparison, and I expected the Nothing Ear 3A to completely have this in the back.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Now don't get me wrong, the Nothing Ear 3A sounds great. They have a big, bass-heavy sound and it sounds full, strong, punchy and powerful. However, the clarity of the audio, especially the midtones, aren't as strong. Like the bass guitar can sometimes overpower the electric guitar and make the electric guitar sound a bit muffled. And the old Nothing Ear A is more balanced. There is a lot more vocal clarity, guitar solos have this sharp sound to them. And when you're listening to an orchestra, you can hear a lot more of the instruments. So I find it hard to say which of these is actually better. I think it also depends on what kind of music you listen to. And in that regard, I think that the Nothing Ear 3A are tuned to most people's liking. This bass-heavy sound works great for modern music, and if you're into AQ, the Ear 3A gives you a lot more control than the old Ear A. There are simply more options to shape the sound, including notching the bass down a bit to let the mids breathe. But when I judge purely on out-of-the-box sound quality, I picked the Nothing Ear A, so that gets my point. Now when it comes down to noise cancellation, I think that there is no better place to test it out than the train. Trust me, I'm not doing this to get more trains in this video. I am sitting right underneath the ventilation to get the most noise from the train. And the Nothing Ear 3A almost completely silences the noise from the train to the point where I can literally barely hear a hum. Which is just straight up better than what the Ear A delivers, which is at least 40% louder, in my estimation. It also does a much better job on crowds. However, when there is just a single person talking, the Ear A is actually quieter. Almost like the Nothing Ear 3A is programmed to let the sound of one person come through. Which is very useful for when the conductor comes to check the tickets, so I actually see it as a plus. Ear 3A wins. So to get an idea on call quality, I just started calling a whole lot of people and switching the earbuds halfway. Hello there! Hold on, I'm gonna record this. I was wondering, what do I sound like right now to you?
This is fine.
Alright, in that case, we're gonna try different earbuds. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Alright, so I'm calling from different earbuds right now.
Different?
Yes.
There is no difference.
No difference.
No.
What you just heard was a representation of every single call that I did. So yeah, they are the same in terms of call quality, really. So I think it's a draw.
When it comes to features, the Nothing Ear 3A is absolutely packed. Noise cancellation, spatial audio, which gives you a feeling like the music is all around you. Audio Snap, a feature where you can record 60 seconds of the sound coming through your earbuds. This can really come in handy if you have an annoying boss. And then you can transcribe the spoken words into text. And like I said before, the equalizer is very advanced and also comes with a bunch of different presets that you can import. When we look at the Ear A on the other hand, well, there is no spatial audio, no audio snap recordings feature, in its place is just a bass boost slider, and the equalizer only comes with 4 presets. If you're looking for feature-rich earbuds, get the Ear 3A. When it comes down to battery, I don't really notice a difference. According to Nothing, without ANC, Nothing Ear 3A should last 10 hours and Ear A about 9.5. In my experience, without ANC, both of these earbuds last about 6 hours. I mean, I'll take Nothing's word for it that Nothing Ear 3A's battery is probably slightly better, but I didn't find a noticeable difference in my personal testing. Oh, and with ANC enabled, it was about 4 hours. It's a draw for me. Now, when it comes to value, it really depends on what you yourself value. If you want amazing ANC, a full bassy sound and a lot of features, then the Nothing Ear 3A is the obvious winner. It's the latest and greatest. But if you just buy your earbuds to listen to music without even installing Nothing X, then in that case, the Nothing Ear A might also be pretty good. The reason why the Nothing Ear 3A is a better value product for me is because they bring a smaller ear tip size, which means I can wear them more comfortably. But in general, I think that the Nothing Ear A and Nothing Ear 3A both deserve a 10 out of 10 in value. But for the retail price, Nothing Ear 3A wins. Meaning it is now the longest train and winner of the video. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment if you liked the video. And a shout out to the Nothing Community Review Program for sending me the Nothing Ear 3A.